Perhaps the most telling indication of the greatness of a college football rivalry is the answer to a very simple question. How awesome is its trophy? In the case of USC and Notre Dame, the answer is, it is so awesome. It couldn't be more befitting of a game that literally changed the landscape of college football, but a game that is somehow now in jeopardy of not being played at all. This episode of Rivalries is presented by Allstate. USC Notre Dame has everything you could possibly want in a rivalry. It has the history. It has the significance. It has long had a direct impact on deciding a national championship.
There are a lot of old traditional college football rivalries across this country, but from a national perspective, none more so than this one. This, of course, is the granddaddy of all of the intersectional rivalries in college football. Emotion and spirit, well, there's just no measure of it.
It has featured more Heisman Trophy winners than we have time to list. Oh, and yes, there's that trophy, which isn't even really a trophy, but an old school battlefield weapon. Hey, what else would you expect from a bunch of fighting Irish and Trojans? The Jeweled Shillelagh made its debut in 1952, donated by the Notre Dame Alumni Club of Los Angeles. It's a club made from Irish hardwood, and if you were wondering about the jeweled part, a new medallion is added to the shillelagh to honor the winner of the game, either a ruby-studded Trojan head or an emerald shamrock. By the end of the 1980s, the OG club ran out of space for bejeweling, so a new model was crafted back in the Irish homeland in 1997. But the rivalry itself far outdates the shillelagh's introduction in '52. This year marks the 96th meeting between the prides of Southern California and Northern Indiana. Notre Dame leads the series with 52 wins to USC's 38, along with 5 ties. Yet, it is a series built on streaks. From 1967 through 1982, the Trojans posted a record of 12, 2, and 2. Then, Notre Dame started a streak of 12, 0, and 1. And from 2002 through 2009, the Pete Carroll Show went 8 and 0 against the Irish, though the biggest of those is technically vacated. We'll get back to that later. They first met on the field in 1926, 2 seasons after Knute Rockne and Notre Dame's first national championship, won by the fabled 4 Horsemen in the Rose Bowl over Stanford on New Year's Day 1925. Prior to that game, Rockne found it impossible to schedule games out west because the teams of the Pacific refused to take seriously the little Catholic school from South Bend. But after their win in Pasadena, USC booked the Irish for 1926, and the rest is history. At least, that's the origin story I've always written. There's another version that says it all began after a conversation between wives, specifically the wives of Rockne and USC's athletic director, Gwen Wilson.
If these 2 ladies hadn't been gossiping on a train from Lincoln, Nebraska to Chicago on an autumn afternoon in 1925, this great series of games would never have been played.
There are also those who say it's because USC hired head coach Howard Jones, who was an old pal of Rockne's. Then there are those who say it happened because USC tried to poach Rockne before he recommended Jones. However it first happened, USC versus Notre Dame has been happening nearly nonstop for nearly a century since that first game, won by the Irish 13-12, and has had a coast-to-coast impact on college football ever since. 3 of their first 4 games were decided by 1 point, and 2 of those games were attended by more than 110,000 people. In 1931, more than 300,000 fans turned up at the train station to hail the returning Trojans, fresh off a win in South Bend that snapped a 26-game Irish unbeaten streak and helped clinch Troy's 2nd national title. 7 years later, now in the AP poll era, it was Notre Dame ranked number 1 and USC 8th, until another USC upset cost the Irish a shot at their 4th natty. In 1947, their meeting set an LA Coliseum football attendance record, with 104,953 fans on hand to see undefeated USC crushed by undefeated Notre Dame 38-7. The Irish were awarded the AP National Championship. USC's 49-0 Rose Bowl loss to Michigan allowed the Wolverines to also claim the title, since the Irish didn't play in bowls for more than 40 years. One team spoiling the other season isn't a theme for USC Notre Dame, it is the theme. 1948. The Irish had a 21-game winning streak ended by a USC tie. 1964. Notre Dame was ranked number 1 and had a 17-0 halftime lead, but the unranked Trojans came back to win 2017, thanks to 84Z delay on 4th down with a minute and a half remaining, costing new head coach Ara Parseghian a chance to win a natty in his first South Bend season. 1966. Notre Dame, with backup quarterback Coley O'Brien behind center, handed USC what is still its worst ever loss, a 51-0 beatdown in Los Angeles. 1971. The 2-4 Trojans stunned 6th-ranked Notre Dame on the road in a game that was punctuated by a 20-minute fight delay.
And it is a free-for-all. Don't get caught on the bottom.
1974. It's simply known as the comeback. Notre Dame jumped out to a 24-0 lead, but then surrendered 55 USC points in what Sports Illustrated described as 17 minutes that shook LA.
And from a 24-0 deficit, Southern California has scored one of its greatest wins in history.
In 1977, it's easily one of my favorite college football moments of all time.
You will be that driving force to motivate those coaches and those players to beat Southern Cal. And if Willie Fry wants everybody to wear green, then we will be the Green Machine.
When the 11th-ranked Irish emerged from the home tunnel of Notre Dame Stadium behind a Trojan horse and wearing, yes, green jerseys.
Here comes the Trojan horse, and Notre Dame, for the first time, is coming out of the tunnel. You heard the reference about a green machine. Look at the jersey.
Joe Montana and his inspired teammates ran through number 5 USC 49-19 on the way to a national championship. The next season, USC beat Notre Dame in dramatic fashion and eventually earned a share of the national title. 1980, Notre Dame overlooked USC chasing another trophy of its own and instead lost Dan Devine's final regular season game, 20-3. But it wasn't until 1988 that these two teams, owners of a combined 19 claimed national titles by then, met when ranked 1 and 2.
Rice on the option, carrying for the first time to the 40, to the 45, down the sideline, at the 40, at the 30, at the 20. He could go all the way to 10-5. Touchdown Irish!
Even without suspended stars Ricky Watters and Tony Brooks, Lou Holtz's squad defeated Rodney Peete and USC in LA, setting the stage for Notre Dame's first national title in more than a decade. As the 2000s arrived, it marked the re-arrival of this rivalry as a nationwide must-watch, thanks to USC's cavalcade of Heisman Trophy winners, from Carson Palmer to Matt Leinart to Reggie Bush, he of the infamous Bush Push victory in South Bend in 2005. You've seen the video a million times, but the photos of this play look like Renaissance paintings. In 2012, with 16 million viewers tuned in, it was preseason unranked but now top-ranked Notre Dame, who beat preseason number 1 but now unranked USC in a victory that propelled Brian Kelly's team to the BCS National Championship game. But USC Notre Dame is as much a competition over what these programs have accomplished after college, or in the trophy case, as it is about their head-to-head matchups. Notre Dame is number 1 all-time with 538 NFL draft selections, 5 picks ahead of number 2, USC. However, USC holds the slight edge in top picks, with 6 to Notre Dame's 5, tied for second all-time. The Trojans have also won the most Heisman trophies with 8, followed by, number 2 Notre Dame with 7. I know what you're thinking. There hasn't been enough special teams love in this episode, but this is where we rectify that. Back in 1972, the first Anthony Davis to win rings in LA had himself a day. 6 touchdowns, including 2 kickoff returns. The second of those saw 4 Golden Domers get close enough to attempt a tackle and each come up with air.
At the 40, 45, midfield. He fakes one guy at the 40, back to the 35, staggers. He's headed for the end zone for the second time today. Davis takes a kickoff all the way.
On the other side, please direct your attention to a bitter USC loss in 1986. Irish QB Steve Berline was benched after an interception, only to re-emerge and lead an improbable 17-point fourth-quarter comeback. John Carney's walk-off field goal was set up by a guy returning just his second punt of the season.
Tim Brown is back at the 28. We got a wall.
Tight end at the 40, 45, all the way down the sideline, 30, 25, 20, 15-yard line. First down and 10, Notre Dame at the Southern Cal 15.
Luckily for Notre Dame, that guy was next year's Heisman Trophy winner, Tim Brown, who lit the spark for the team's return to dominance. Now, unfortunately, the question is when, and even if, might all this happen again? Thanks to this new frontier of conference realignment and schedule shakeups, the USC Notre Dame series is currently not scheduled past the 2026 season. USC's move to the Big Ten has left fewer non-conference weekends available, though both sides have expressed an interest in finding more dates in the future.
Do I want to play the game? Hell yeah, I want to play the game. Absolutely. It's one of the reasons I came here.
I'm a huge proponent of Notre Dame and USC continuously playing each other for endless amount of time. Like, that's a game that as the head coach, you want to play.
Seeing it go away would be a shame, because this rivalry, nearly a century ago, was a big part of the push into college football's future that we all enjoy today as the present.
Look at this! Look at this! Forget about it!
Now, USC stands for University of Spoiled Children. I want you to go tell Southern Cal to bring a damn lunch, because it's going to be a long-ass day for them.
I mean, Notre Dame did everything they could to, keep me there. USC for me, it meant more to me.
Hopefully, they'll sort it all out. But in the meantime, let's enjoy these next 2 guaranteed editions of one of the most storied showdowns in college football history.